This story is a woman who experienced physical abuse. She was abused for several years as a child until she had the strength and the courage to stop the abuse from the relative. But it resulted in a lot of low self-esteem. And there seemed to be a lot of repercussion and blowback from that years of physical abuse. When she became a teenager, she sort of went out of control with drugs and alcohol. She was looking for escape. She was looking for some sort of comfort that she wasn't finding on her own. In fact, even her high school friends became concerned about her because of the level of alcohol use that she had and were recommending to her that she get some help. There were several scary incidents, but she didn't think she had a problem. However, when she went to college, she did select a college that had a no drinking, no drug policy. But once she got to college, all these feelings of low self-esteem and the loneliness and depression that she'd been battling for years just seemed to overwhelm her. One night, she just ran out into the winter night in tears and in despair. She found a place, and as she was just reaching out to God, she said she just felt the presence of God, and it was as if God was speaking to her, telling her that God was with her. She said it was like a warm blanket had been placed around her and just wrapped her. And that sense of calm, confidence, and love. She said she sat there for quite a while, just sort of feeling that presence of God and that peace and comfort that she had so looked for. And all the depression and the burden and the loneliness lifted off. She was able to drop all the alcohol abuse and drug use right then. Never went back to it. She had a successful college career, was able to finish with a degree, marry, have a family, and all of that repercussions and negative mental images from the years of physical abuse just left her thought and her life. There's one other piece there. She felt a lot of hatred towards the relative who had abused her for all those years. And she had to face this relative at all of the family events. She said one year she was just so angry with him in her own heart, in her own mind, at one of these events, that she just turned to God to help her lift off that anger. And the thought that came to her was that she didn't have to forgive him or love him, but all she needed to do was to see that he actually had a spiritual nature given to him by God. That's all she needed to do. And she found that so freeing and comforting because she felt she really could know, because she knew, had been praying for so many years with these ideas that I was sharing with you about God creating everyone with a spiritual identity. And she so believed that she was able to set aside the human pictures and look through to that original spiritual identity and just see the original spiritual identity that God had created. And that's how she decided to think of him from then on. And the anger faded out, and she felt a tremendous release and freedom from that whole experience.